Hey, it's Chris from Led by Lanterns here. Today we're going to look at the production and writing of Fever.
Some people want to see the world burn, but I love the way it turns on you.
So a lot of you ask us how we put our songs together and how production works in general. So here today I've got the demo session for Fever. What we do is we record everything here at home, and we basically build a mix, produce the song, sort out the order of everything, the structure, and then once we're happy with how the demo sounds, we'll bounce off all the individual tracks and we'll send them to our friend Julian Bowen, who then does the final mix that you hear on the record. The mix we'll hear today is the demo mix, but it'll allow you to see all the elements involved in the song. So as you look at the screen here, down the left-hand side, we have all the different tracks. Here we have about 65. The vibe I was going for in this song was intentionally trying to keep it dissonant. So what I mean is try to create a vibe that is not too happy, not too relaxing. It kind of makes you feel a bit tense. And it's because the subject matter of the song is about COVID-19, the pandemic, and it's not a nice subject. So we really wanted to keep it feeling uneasy throughout the song. So there's certain elements which I'll show you that help create that vibe. I ended up coming across a bunch of Eastern sounding samples which give it kind of an Eastern vibe as well. That was more accidental than anything else, but I feel like it fits really well with the song. So let's dive right in. The first thing we have here at the top is the drums, which you'll see here we use MIDI drums. So what you'll see here is basically on the left hand side down here we've got all the different drums going from left to right represents time. So here you can see the snare, the kicks are at the top, and it creates this groovy vibe. On this song, actually, it's even in the final recording you hear it's not real drums because we're poor and recording drums costs money. So the drums on this song are not real. Interesting fact for you there. So we have this percussion loop. One of the first things you hear, it's actually repeated pretty much throughout the whole song. We've got this riser that builds up into the kick in. And then we start with the Eastern sounding samples. First of all, this, well, this isn't quite Eastern, but this choir I found really, really helps add that feeling I'm talking about. It's like a dark minor chords. And you'll notice later on in the chorus guitar chords are actually pretty major, pretty happy sounding, but that choir layer underneath keeps it sounding unsettled, if you get what I mean. There's this, which builds into the kick in. There's also this piano chord ring out that I reversed, so you can hear like it builds up. And then there's this this ended up being a lead melody, which I didn't think it would, but this is, you recognize this. Yep. So all of those added together sound like this. You can really hear how the choir creates that mood. There comes the piano. Straight into the verse. Now then, there's this news reporter, which we originally wanted to put in this section here before the chorus. Tried recording it ourselves. None of us could get it to sound like a news reporter. We tried to find news clips, but none of them said the right thing fast enough to get it into the song. We ended up thinking none of us sounded cool enough, so we ended up getting Toby Duncan doing it.
The worldwide pandemic is spreading at an unprecedented rate, and many people are still choosing to ignore ignore government advice to stay at home.
And even when Toby did it, we felt it didn't fit in the pre-chorus, so we ended up dragging it to the beginning of the song. And we still think it's like kind of cheesy to do. It's kind of an obvious move, but we wanted to make sure from the go, you know what this song's about. It's about the pandemic. It's like, okay, you know? Right, so then that kicks into this verse, which has this bass riff. It's one of the first things I wrote. Absolutely sick sounding bass riff. So the first half of the verse, let me just mute the vocals. The first half of the verse has literally no guitar. It's just, well, it's just bass guitar and the samples. Got the choir still there. And you've got this awesome violin thing, which first plays forward, then plays backwards. Just awesome, fills the gap. So you end up with this groovy verse. You've got this, the riser has like an out riser. It's just the riser reversed. So all together, going into the verse, sounds like this. So you're hearing the vocals delayed because you're just hearing the vocal delay because I've muted the vocals. That's why they sound out of time and weird. Then we have the lead guitar, which plays this nice little... Just a cool little lead riff there. So we use for our guitars, and I believe Jules uses the same plugin, in case anybody's interested in home recording, we use this STL tonality plugin, right? Has a load of different amps. So we basically just plug our guitars directly into the computer through a DI box. So without this, basically, if I bypass this, so you can hear the actual raw guitar going in. And then this is basically just a fake amp. And it's got some pedals in it as well. It does cab simulation. It's got like, so it's basically fake mics on a fake cab through a fake guitar amp. And that's literally what we use to record our guitars. It's just easy. You can change the tone after you've recorded it. If you put a real mic on a real guitar cab, once you've recorded it, that's the sound. This way, I can change the whole amp if I wanted to. You know, I really recommend this plugin. I heard about it because of Seb Barlow, who records, well, he plays in Neck Deep now as well, but he records, mixes Neck Deep and Waster. I just think it's great. Nice tones. That's pretty much the sound coming out of it. What have I done? Oh, I have high-passed it here on this EQ, but I mean, I think the guitar plugins, that STL tonality sounds absolutely great. Right, so that takes us to the end of the verse into this pre-chorus section. Now this riff is, you can see it's chopped up on the screen there, right? It's actually this riff from after the chorus. So it's that, but chopped up. You'll hear it now. It's... So that takes us into the chorus. And that is actually the only other thing that's in that section is that, see, the percussion loop carries on pretty much through the whole song. Just like pleasing to the ears, you know. I've got the riser as well. And the drum fill, which you can see in this plugin here. Now the vocals are a bit delayed sounding there because you're just hearing the vocal delay instead of the vocals because I've got them muted. So it takes us into the chorus, right? So the basis of the chorus at the top here, drums, percussion loop. And we've got the riser backwards to go extra kick in. Don't need that click on really. Got the guns. Just a gunshot going into the chorus. I use a few different gunshots through this. Yeah. Bass guitar. So low. I can't even remember what tune this song's in, but it's low. It's a low boy. Then I've got this channel's called Weird Pulse. Bet you didn't know that was in there. And that is Serum. Yeah, it's this Serum. It's just a preset called SQ Automator 5 on Serum, which is a Serum is like a synth. So you can see if I click, literally all I do is hold down one of the buttons. Again, recommend Serum. It's great for playing around with electronic stuff. Then here I've got another Serum preset. It's basically the power chords from the guitars, but filthy to add that grit. So with the guitars, so if you want to see what the guitar preset I'm using on STL Tones is, it's literally, this is the first amp you open up. 01 HB amp 1. I have changed a few settings on it, but it's just, listen to it. With the bass, with the weird pulse. Then we have a layer of octaves. Just nice octaves. Again, STL Tones, different amp. The guitar I used for this, by the way, is my Epiphone Les Paul custom. Let's just use that for everything, to be honest. Another lead riff. So all the guitars together. So that's actually kind of quite happy, like hopeful sounding chorus, right? But then you add this choir in, right? I'll turn it up just so you can see. See how the choir is what creates the dissonance that keeps it sounding sad and minor, right? So it's like the chorus is kind of modal in a way. I can't remember what level that choir was at. Let me just undo. 25. Yeah. So the chorus is neither happy or sad. It's kind of hopeful. I like that. And also we have this, which is the sample from the intro. Underneath it. Yeah, so that's what I was really trying to aim for, is this not too happy kind of vibe. Yeah, and then we've got the riff. Which is those, the rhythms which you've already heard. There's this lead. Yeah, so there's obviously a big chop out of everything here for this glitch, right? The glitch, something we added later on. Just to sort of, well, in my mind, it was to represent like a hiccup in the world, a mistake, you know, just further representing the pandemic. So the glitch is made out of this, which is another Serum. I bounced it so you can't bring it up, but it's another Serum, just chord. Then we have this, I can't remember. That's another Serum preset. Yeah, I've just bounced them so I can't go back and show you it. And then there's a, which is actually a bit of Sean's vocals stuck through this sample one. So it's actually that part of the vocal melody, and you can play it like on a keyboard, right? And it goes, so that little glitch goes. It's literally, can't even do that quick. That's what it does. So another bit of sampling there. So altogether, those 3 glitch noises. And then everything else, everything down here has just a hole in it, and all leaving all the vocals, right? And all the reverbs and stuff, I think they auto mute in that section. Oh, maybe I can't remember where they. Oh, did you see? So here we see all the guitars, because the guitars have like reverb and delay. So if I just chopped them, you'd still hear the reverb and delay fill in the gap. But by muting them, it totally stops it. So if you listen again. Actually, if I solo the guitars by themselves, you'll hear how dead the stop is. Totally dead stop. And you can see all the mutes. There you go. So this is how you automate the mutes. You can see how there's the line goes up and down. It mutes it, then unmutes it on both those channels. Well, and a load of other channels, but that's just, there's no point showing you all of the mutes. Yeah, so that's like a hiccup in the song. What's really cool under this riff, comes in the second half of the riff, is some vocals. So let me unmute the vocal bus. And it's all the way down here. Actually, it's not even on the vocal bus. It's called Stupid Chris. And I basically muted the speakers, right? And I just wanted to create dissonance. Just random dissonance. So I stood miles away from the microphone and just wailed into the microphone. I didn't know what the key the song was in. I recorded 4 different things. And I never thought anybody would hear these on their own. But underneath the song, right, they create like, it's like the notes do not work with the song, and they create mega dissonance in that second half of the riff. So that's that one. So it's like totally random, out of time. And then I was going, so altogether those 4, it's hilarious. You hear how it kind of messes with your brain. And in the song, you hear it. You hear it now, especially at the end there where it drops back into the verse. So they're in there literally because that first half of the riff, it's not there. So from here, look, I'll boost the volume a bit for you. Really like that. I didn't think I'd ever, they're like the first takes of me doing it as well. I was kind of pissing about, to be honest, not gonna lie, but ended up keeping it because it made it sound like you kind of just like uneasy, makes you uneasy, and then when you get back to the verse, then it's like relief. You drop back into the groovy bass line, which it's the same, but the violin carries on this time. carries on. Goes straight into the chorus. So what I did there actually was this lead riff. I chopped it, if you can see the chop here, and I instead pasted in this part, which I've taken from here, which is in the middle of the chorus. I just dragged it back, pasted it, so it goes into the chorus. So this bit ended up being the duet part. You can see at the top here, we actually chopped this up and rearranged it a few times to suit, because when Sean wrote the vocals, it didn't fit over the structure I originally had. So Sean actually chopped it up because I bounced the music, sent it to Sean, and then Sean chopped it up while recording his vocals, sent it back. So then I had to work out how he chopped it up and then reorganize it to form this newer structure. But basically, this part, we have the rhythm. So again, I said in the criminal walkthrough, I explained this. There's two guitar parts here. Obviously, there's two tracks. One is panned hard left, which is this one. And this is with all the rhythm in the song. And we got another one panned right. So what they are, they're the same part. Me playing the same part, but twice. And then together, they form this wide... If you've got your headphones on, you can hear each part is actually a different recording of the same part. But in this section, I wanted it to sound even more fat, so I added this extra one down the middle, which is chopped, like a bit more gated. I think I just turned the gate up on this. Yeah, the gate setting is here on STL tonality. It's a bit higher than on the other ones. And then what's this? Oh, literally one note, one octave. And then the lead. And the bass guitar. And the choir that helps keep the minor tones is still there if you listen. It comes in and out, so it goes. Fuck it. So it's literally, can really hear how that choir keeps it just like moody. Also, we got this, that from the intros underneath all the way through. I think just different parts of it. You can see how I've chopped it in different sizes just to make sure all the notes work. So it's just the same loop, just chopped, and different parts of it playing and stuff. So that's the duet section, pretty much nailed. Obviously, you've got the drums. That percussion loop is still going. And that brings us up to this thin chorus, which is basically the chorus rhythm. And what I've done in this section, actually, as well as this section, you'll notice the guitar sounds thinner, and if I just solo the guitar, when it kicks in, you'll hear how it gets a lot bigger sounding. Alright, so it's the same guitar track recorded, but what I've done is I've added on this bus, the rhythm bus, which is here. You'll see this EQ, which basically scoops off. This is all the low end here, this is the high end, and it scooped it all off, and all it lets through is this little band of like upper mids that just makes the guitar sound really thin. And you'll notice now, when we get to the chorus, this plugin automatically bypasses. See this little orange bypass light came on as it kicked in there. See? And the same thing happens at the section where we just were. So we've got the chorus rhythm playing with this plugin engaged, making it sound thin. But I love the way it turns on you. And then it it bypasses. See? So that's how that tone change in the guitar works. And under that section is the violin forwards and backwards. And the percussion loop. And the riser, drum fill, straight in. Oh god, that choir is well loud now. You can hear how the choir works in the chorus. Chorus repeats with an extra, I think I added, oh no, I didn't add a layer, I automated the level. Yeah, so if you watch this little fader down here on the left, you'll see at the end of the first chorus, it jumps up. Just to add an extra element in. Because this section, although Sean's singing, some people want to say the world burn. Oh, that's my part actually, but although we're singing something different, I still wanted the music to build. So just turning up that octave part nailed that for me. Made it not just a repeated double chorus, it made it a double chorus with a bit of a difference. Then we have the outro riff. Oh, I didn't show you this before. That's also on the riff sections. Listen how dissonant that is. It's like creepy. I actually totally forgot about that. Listen to it in the mix. Yeah, nice big sub drop at the end there. Who doesn't love a sub drop? Oh, there's also a sub drop going into the last chorus. Is there another one? No. Going into the last chorus and the end of the song. So that, I think that is all of the music side of it. If you want me to go into more detail about the plugins on this, ask questions in the comments. I'll answer the questions in the comments. And also, I know you guys liked the Criminal, the version of this I did for the song Criminal. So that's why I've done this other one for you. But if you want to subscribe and turn on that notification bell to see any future videos. So onto the vocals. Just unmute this bus. So first verse. Coming down with the fever, just when we need each other. So we've got the main vocal here. Then we've got a falsetto left and right. So the main vocal's in the center. And just like Criminal, we've got a falsetto vocal, 2 different takes of the same part done by Sean. I think it's Sean doing this part. Just when we need each other. So you hear how the low and the high vocals together, with the low vocal in the center, the high vocals surrounding your ears, especially if you've got headphones on, create this spacious sounding vocal. Coming down with the fever, just when we need each other, we tear ourselves apart. And down here we have a harmony. Can't remember if I did it or if Sean did it. Fever, just when we need each other. Oh, is that me or Sean? I can't even tell. Just when we need Sean. Each other. So that's the, and then there's this extra bit. Love that. So altogether, you hear the main vocal in the center, the high falsetto vocals left and right, There's the harmonies that are left and right. Again, these are the same part recorded twice, panned left, panned right. Then we've got the oh, and that forms.
Coming down with fever, just when we need each other, we tear ourselves apart. Just when it starts
Same again.
I lost my faith in humanity, and I don't know where to start.
Cool. So that takes us to this. A left and right high, a left and right low, which carries on through the chorus. So that just carries on literally through the chorus, through the riff as well. Then we have the lead chorus vocal.
Some people want to see the world burn.
And the overlapping world burn. And underneath here we have 2 more takes of the chorus lead, which you'll hear if I mute these two. You'll hear it's left and right.
Some people want to see the world burn.
So Sean essentially sang this part 3 different times. And it's all 3 of them together. Let me mute everything else. So the 3 takes of the chorus vocal together basically give you a big, spacious, wide chorus vocal sound. Because there's so much more musical elements in the chorus, you need a bit more vocal width to help cut through, keep the vocals on top of the mix. And that's what this achieves.
Some people want to see the world burn.
Hear how it surrounds you.
But I love the way it turns on you.
So that's how that works. We've got obviously reverb and delay on the vocals. That's like slight echoey thing you're hearing. Then down here, Chris Harm left, Chris Harm right. So that's my little lower harmony. So if I solo all just the vocals together for the chorus, we have this.
People want to see the world.
I'll play it from the start.
Some people want to see the world burn. See the world burn. But I love the way it turns on you. When the world burns. I love the way it turns. I love the way it turns on you. Oh, 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 love the way it turns on you. Oh, oh, love the way it turns on you.
So that's really nice, actually. I really like these harmonies. Really create a mood. On this riff vocals, we got the again left and right. Just keeps it wide, and then a harmony to that.
Love the way it turns on you.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Takes us into the second verse. Again, at the top here, lead vocal.
You only hated
The 2 falsetto high ones
back when you weren't the victim.
with a harmony on back when you weren't the victim.
System. Back when you weren't the victim. Now you pray it gets you through.
And then there's that funny that.
Funny that.
Funny that.
Funny that.
Funny that. Actually, it was really funny. It's really funny that after we'd mixed it once for the demo, we felt like it sounded like he said "fuck that," and we didn't want that because it was a clean song. Apart from that, so I ended up turning up the funny that, so you can see there's. I don't know how well you'll see it actually. I actually chopped it up and turned up this.
Funny that.
Funny that. On its own, it sounds funny.
Funny that.
Funny that. Just so that I made sure it stuck out the mix.
Funny that.
Yeah, so that's funny. And then, yeah, so that happens. We've got the falsettos, got the harmonies, going back into another chorus. All the... can really hear how the harmonies make it so big, man. Like, I said it on the Criminal production walkthrough as well. We just love harmonies. Me and Sean, I think Sean wrote all of these harmonies, I think, for this.
Back to you. Some people wanna see the world burn, see the world burn. But I love the way it turns on you when the world burns. I love the way it turns. I love the way it turns on you. Give me a reason not to hurt. 'Cause I can't.
So my part there, we're doing the 3 takes thing again. So one in the center, which is,
Give me a reason not to hurt.
then we got the one on the left and one on the right together.
Give me a reason not to hurt.
Together, all 3 of them.
Give me a reason not to hurt.
Then I put a harmony underneath that.
Give me a reason not to hurt.
And then underneath,
Take this anymore. We had a chance to fight, terrified. Instead, we decide to burn.
so those are the harmonies underneath. So if I keep the leads off, but just the wide vocals, you'll hear the harmonies better.
'Cause I can't take this anymore. We had a chance to fight, but we got terrified. So instead, we decide to burn.
Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, with the lead vocals on as well, that section, the nice duet-y part, sounds like this.
Give me a reason not to hurt. 'Cause I can't take this anymore. We had a chance to fight, but we got terrified. So instead we decide to burn. Some people wanna see the world burn.
So that takes us to this nice low section, which is basically same as the verse. We got the nice low, Sean's low vocal here.
Some people wanna see the world burn.
With 2 falsetto high ones left and right.
Some people wanna see the world burn. But I love the way it turns on you. Some people wanna see the world burn.
Yep, so that takes us into the last chorus, which has all the harmonies again.
The world burn. See the world burn. But I love the way it turns on you.
And then after that chorus, it brings us into this section, which is this my part or Sean's part?
Some people wanna see the world burn. Some people wanna see the world burn.
With 2 more takes, one left, one right to make it wide.
Some people wanna see the world burn.
And then you've got my high thing on top of it.
Some people wanna see the world burn. Some people wanna see the world burn. Some people wanna
And
see
you've got this
the
underneath.
world burn. Some people wanna see the world burn. Some people wanna see it burn.
And on the word burn, because Sean screams the word burn, we added how many layers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of the word burn together. That 7 layers sound like this. So it's like a crowd shouting burn. So along with his lead vocal, sounds like this.
Some people want to see it burn.
Which really just emphasizes that going into the outro.
See it burn.
And that is the writing and production walkthrough of the Fever demo session. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be doing more videos like this as and when we release more singles. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.